Okay, so hey everybody, my name is Marco. I'm part of the technology integration specialist team here at PSJA. And what we're going to talk about today is a little bit of Wakelet, which is it's a really great site that you can integrate even with your Google Classroom, and you can basically curate different kinds of information that you want to show the students. Students can even create their own Wakelets, and that's something that we'll get into a little bit later. Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie. I didn't even I forgot to post the PowerPoint presentation. Give me like one quick second so I could pull it up on our slides really quick. Uh, Give me a second, guys, so I could just pull up our PowerPoint that we're going to go ahead and share with you today. Sorry about that. It's weird. I'm having my Gmail for school isn't opening. It's okay. We will skip the we'll skip the PowerPoint. It's I don't know why it's giving me some issues today, but
You
that's
want
the
me
way
to
it
share it,
goes.
Marco, or?
Yeah, if you want, Debbie, just so I can have a place, kind of like a what do you call it? It's kind of like my pacing guide in a way. So,
Okay.
well, if you mind sharing it for just a little bit, Debbie, and then I'll explain what Wakelet is, and
There we
then
go.
I'll tell you when I'll take control.
Okay.
So again, thank you everybody for being here. You can go into the next slide, Debbie. We have just a couple of housekeeping rules. We'll want to keep our mics muted. Feel free to type in questions in the chat. Debbie will let me know. There's the session number there, and also our remote check-in code is PSJA Tech. So what is Wakelet? It's a digital curation tool, and so if you're not familiar with that is, basically what you can do and what the students can do on Wakelet is display what if the teacher wants the students to learn a particular kind of knowledge, what the teacher can do is provide links, they're the URLs, they can provide videos, they can provide if they have a class Twitter account, they can put tweets. And what's happening was all this different kind of information is showing up in one place, which is the class Wakelet. And we'll go over that in just a bit. So basically, what Wakelet can do is it's a place where you can compile all your knowledge of a particular kind of subject in one place. So it's going to have links, it's going to have PDFs, it's going to have videos. And I'll show you a little bit of what that looks like in just a bit. Can you go on to the next one, Debbie? So these are some of the things that we're going to go over today. So today we're going to search collections that other people have created. When we look at collections, different Wakelets that people created, we can actually go in there, see their Wakelet, and if there's a resource that we like, we can actually bookmark that, and then we can include it into our own Wakelets. We're going to explore popular collections. That's on the Explore, the Explore tab. I'm gonna show you how to save content by adding the Wakelet bookmarker extension, and then that's how you can save all the resources. If you want to go back to check if you saw a really cool resource, but like say that you're not there yet for your instruction, like while you're looking at Wakelets for 3 branches of government, you find something about the Supreme Court and you're like, oh, I'm not there yet, but I like this information. You can always bookmark it and it'll go into your bookmark library. And then when you get to that unit, you can always pull that information back. And then the last thing we're going to do is you can view collections and you can share them. And we'll get on that too. If y'all want to, I think a really good idea is while I'm going over this, you can do this yourself. So if you want to add the extension, whether it's on Chrome or whether it's on Edge, feel free to go ahead and do that now. And so while we go over what Wakelet is and what it does, you can actually be practicing this as well. You don't always just have to, you could be an active participant if you want to. So so we'll go over what Wakelet is right now. Can you go to the next slide, Debbie? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the Explore Wakelet area. So now let me share my screen and then we will go over what that looks like. So this is the landing page actually. When you get on Wakelet, like this is the landing page. It'll take you to the, I think actually it takes you to your collections, but one of the things, if you are interested in, is checking out the explore page. And now this one, what it's doing is it takes you to the most popular Wakelets at the moment. So there's a good number of them. You can see if there's something in here that maybe you can use, you know? And so me, as being a history person or a social studies person, I'd probably want to look for something that would maybe help me. But see, these are really cool resources like Meet the Teacher. There's another Meet the Teacher, Travel the World. So it does have a lot of good information. And so let's see right here. I'm doing 8th grade social studies, right? So middle school social studies, somebody already put together resources on their own Wakelet and they're sharing it with people. So what you can do is this is a collection that somebody created, and you can go into any of these sites. It looks like they put a YouTube video, and then they put some iCivics, which is a cool website for providing like assessments for students in social studies, and then they have links. So if I go in here and just put social studies, a better world resources, let me go ahead and click on that. And then this is what the site is. It's like, okay, cool. Look, these are all really good. These are all really good sites for civil rights movement, right? This is really cool. All these resources are all hyperlinks. They're all different URLs of different issues that I can teach my students in 8th grade social studies. So I'm like, man, this is really awesome. Like, this is a really cool tool. What you would do is you would actually click on the Wakelet extension. So if you click on the extension, you have a couple of options. You can actually save it to a bookmark, or you can actually put it in a class. So this is the class I created that I'm going to show you in just a little bit, or actually a collection I created. It's called US Government. I could add this site and it'll just appear in that Wakelet, but I'm going to go ahead and just add this to bookmarks so I can show you what that looks like in just a little bit. So now that I added it to my bookmarks, if I go back to Wakelet, like right here, and I go to bookmarks, you'll see that the resource that we were just at is now here. It was called Teacher Resources, and that's the link. There's some other stuff that I was going through earlier, like checks and balances. So I really like that link, so I saved it as well. And the cool thing is these save, and you can put them into your Wakelets. So now that we know what Explore is, I'm going to show you what it looks like when you make your own collection. So the whole purpose of Wakelet is we as educators are going to make a collection that we can give that information to students or other educators. And if you want, you can actually have students create their own collections to show you what kind of knowledge that they've gained from whatever you're teaching them. So let's go to collections. I started on one, right? This is called US Government. So we click on it. There's a couple of things that I added. You can give it a title. You're giving the Wakelet a title. You're giving it a brief description. And then there's a few things that you can do. You can actually give an announcement. So if you want to just add text and put, let's click here, and we're going to put, here are some great resources for checks and balances. So if you go ahead and do that, so now it'll appear here at the top. So when you share this to students, I'm going to tell you how to share later. They're going to say, oh, okay, hey, this is some really cool stuff Mr. Torres put for checks and balances. I put like a history.com. You could put a link. So see, some of the things that we can input when you're making a Wakelet is you can input images. We just inputted an announcement, like some text. We can input images. So if we use Upsplash, and if I look up government, then it'll have some photos of the government, right? So we can put something like that. We can input an image, and then it'll add on to our Wakelet. So now we have images, we could make an announcement, we put on some links. You can upload PDFs, which I think I put one in here. You can upload PDFs from your computer. So it'll just be like, and then you can have your students open it via DocHub. This one would have to be DocHub because you're not pushing it out through Kami. So if you have a PDF, Oh, I don't have any on this computer, but if you have a PDF, you can go ahead and add it. And then something really cool is that you can add YouTube videos, you can add a flip video. So if you want your students to be curating their own Wakelet, and they're explaining what they learned, then they can upload their own video. So if I said something like, in your Wakelet, I want you guys to record a 1-minute flip video of everything you learned about checks and balances. And I also want you guys to include a picture as well. The students can go into their Wakelet, they're going to create a new collection, and then they're going to click on flip video. It'll take them straight to flip, and they'll know how to, I mean, we've kind of gone over it a little bit, but if your students know how to use flip, they can record a video and then actually they can upload it here into their collection. There's also Twitter. You can enable and disable some of these media in a little bit when I'm going to show you how to set up a classroom. But these are just different types of media that you can add on there just to make it really cool for the students, provide all sorts of good information for them. So now that we are, checking out what what I compiled here for the students, we put a picture. You can also move stuff around. So like if I want to move this announcement up top, we can go ahead and do that. So now we have the announcement at the top, then we have our picture, we have our links, we have our video, and we have a PDF, right? So that's cool right there. So what we want to do now is that actually what we can do is share this. You can share it with other teachers, or you can share this with students. And what you're going to want to go ahead and do is right here in the top right corner. And there's instructions. Like I put, me and Debbie put together a slideshow that has the instructions of like how to share, how to bookmark. So if I went a little fast, we have it in the Google Slides that you'll get later. So what we can do right here is we're going to go ahead and share. If this is ready to go, we have these resources together and I want to share them with the kiddos. What we're going to do is go ahead and press share. And the cool thing is what we want to do is click the top right toggle, which is allow anyone with this link to see this collection. So now that I clicked it, you have options right away. It does not allow like the default setting for sharing is that people can only view. If you want people to add onto it, that is an option, which is right here. But if I share this with my kids and I put anyone can add, that means when you share it to your Google Classroom, students will keep adding on to this document. It's not an individual copy. Now, if I just want the students to view it, I can click on this one right here. This is the one that says make the collection visible to Wakelet users. But what it's going to do is, let's see, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so what we want to do is just click the one where they can view. And so what we can do right here is click on Google Classroom. And what we can do is check, is click on whichever classroom we have that's available. Actually, this is one of my old classes, so I can go ahead and do this. I can choose, I want to make this material, and then we can press go. So if you notice, it looks just like Google Classroom, right? The only thing is it does not allow you to add like a Google Doc yet or a Google slide. What you'd have to do is after you push this onto Google Classroom, you're going to actually have to edit it and then add any kind of assignment you want to it. So, if the directions are read, I'm going to put go through the resources, and answer the question on the Google Doc. So we can go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and post this, and it's going to take us straight to where the post is. So it says, cool, it posted to your class. Now that we see it here, the cool thing about it is this is our Wakelet. What we can end up doing is we can edit it. And then now we have the option to actually upload like a Google Doc, a Google slide, anything that you want the student to do with that information, you could totally do it. So I can put on here create, and let's do a Google Doc. So when it opens, I can just say something along the lines of, after reading the resources for this week, provide a brief summary of checks and balances. Something like that. But this is just really brief. So it's something that you can do to give the students, and that's something that they can do. You're giving them resources, they're looking over videos, they're looking over URLs of the same kind of content. And then if you want to put this out on Google Classroom, then you can have an assignment out there. Or, if you have a PDF that's already made, you can do that too. But this is just an example of things that you could do. So I'm just going to give it a quick test. There we go. So we can do that, and then actually it should share, and then it'll attach itself with the Google Doc. So we can put no topic, and then we can just do save. So see, now it had saved the changes. Now we have the Wakelet, which is here, and the kiddos, if they go to the Google Classroom, they can view the Wakelet. And then also they won't be able to edit it. They won't be able to add to it. They're just going to view it. And then also at the same time, they'll have this, whatever document you provide along there with it. So it is really cool that that's something that you could do on Wakelet. And what we can do is I'll show you what it looks like to create a classroom as well. So there's a classroom tab. And so what I ended up doing was I clicked on the classroom tab. And what you're going to do is click right here where it says create classroom. And what it does is it syncs to all of our Google Classrooms. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my Google Classroom. It'll show which classes are available to me. And we can go ahead and pick whichever class we want. So if I'm going to create a new class, I'm going to do right here, Mrs. Demo's class. And it gives you options as far as what kind of media do you want available for the students. I'm not 100% sure that Twitter is, I'm not sure how that's filtered. I think it might be blocked. I'm not 100%. So if I don't want them to post anything from Twitter, you can just leave that one blank. So we're going to do YouTube. We'll do Unsplash for images. We're going to go ahead and do Flip, and then we'll do Giphy. So we'll do create. So yeah, like I said, this is a really cool app. If you want to download the extension and kind of mess with it, feel free to. So now that we have our class together, we have Mrs. Demo's class. These are the teachers and these are the students. When we create a collection, it'll show up there in the classroom. So we can do something like, if we're going to put a class together, let's go ahead and just call this one math. I'll show you what it looks like to look up collections and then kind of adding as we go on here. I don't know what's going on here. Not letting me edit this stuff. I don't know what's going on here. That's so odd. So it's supposed to let us edit the title and edit a description, but for some reason it's not doing it. But like I said, technology, right? Doesn't work when you need it to. But you can create it. It's the same thing as creating your own personal collection, right? So when you do a classroom, it's gonna be blank like this. And basically what you're gonna do is create a collection. So it's just like I had showed you earlier. So we go to the United States government. You guys see that we have some stuff here already. And if I want to go to explore, I want to pick on a subject that is similar to what we are going over. I can add something to I'm going to add this YouTube video by clicking on my Wakelet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, save the bookmarks. And then when we go back to our Wakelet, what we can do is we're going to go ahead and add something on here. So we're going to go ahead and go to our bookmarks. It'll load everything that we have kind of bookmarked up to this point, and then we'll go ahead and add that. So that's the video that we just added. So it is really cool. Like I said, you can create all kinds of, all kinds of stuff. You can input videos, you can input links. It's a really great resource tool. And what you could do is when you make an assignment for your students, see, they can create their own Wakelets as well. If you want to do something like have them show what have you learned about a particular subject. So I think I have an example that I can show you guys. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Let me see if I can find my personal Wakelet. I think I need to get out of this one. So I'm going to switch accounts really quick. I'll show you what an example of an assignment would look like. So going into my collections, what I have right here in my classroom is government and politics. So what I did right here is I actually gave the students directions on what to do. So this is my actual Wakelet right here. And I put compile your own audio visual / pictures, GIFs, etc. to show your knowledge of the Supreme Court cases. So students, what they would see is if they clicked on the one I created first, I'm going to put on here, I provided a picture and then I put provide at least one image for your Wakelet. So this is a picture of where the Supreme Court meets and they go over cases. The second one that I put on here was I put a website that has Roe versus Wade, or they could pick any Supreme Court case that they wanted to. And I put the majority opinion was, because when they go into this website, the majority opinion is like, did the case win or did they lose? Which of the Supreme Court justices voted the majority, right? So that's something that I put on there so the students would know, go to this website, and then they're going to tell me what the majority opinion was. I put on here, at least get one primary source for your Wakelet. So the students are using this as a template. So you can leave this up like on your smartboard. And if the students, or you could put this in the directions for the Google Classroom, and then students have an idea of what they're looking for. What is it that they're going to be providing? And then I think I put on here, find one YouTube video. Oh, I guess I don't think I put it on here, but they were supposed to watch a YouTube video and then they were and write a summary, a 1-paragraph summary about, any court case. So Roe versus Wade. So the cool thing is you can make your own Wakelet and kind of give the instructions for it and show students, okay, hey, today we're gonna do the life cycle of an animal, the life cycle of like a frog, right? So that's what you would do. You can tell kids, okay, I want at least one image of the frog that you're doing. I want you to do an image. I want you to find a video. I want you to write a paragraph. So that's pretty cool. So this is an example of different ways that you can show students, the students are providing and you're providing the students just different sources for, any kind of knowledge base that you want them to present about. So that's essentially Wakelet in a nutshell. I'm trying to think if I missed anything, Debbie. Do you think I missed anything?
That looks good. I mean, Wakelet is such a great resource.
Yeah.
It really is. It's easy to share. It's great that it connects with Google Classroom.
Yes, and you can share that. It doesn't have to even be for the classroom per se. Like if you want to look up teacher resources, and you want to, I'm looking up collections of teacher resources, like right here, like teacher resources, classroom K-8, and I guess this is going to be dual language. I could click here and I can create my own Wakelet and then I can share it with colleagues. It doesn't have to be for assignments. It's just a really good way of This is probably not what I'm looking for, but so if we go to teacher resources, we can look at what links were provided. See, so we'll go to self-caring. And if I really like this, what I can do is you can create a wakelet that's based on, a particular part of teaching. So we could put like mental health, or you could put like EB strategies. And basically all we'll do is create bookmarks for it. So save it as bookmarks so that you can send that to your colleagues. We can create a new collection. So we'll have a collection name. This one will be called Teacher Resources. I'm going to put this is for my department, and we can create it. And then we can already save it for teacher resources. So when we go back to our Wakelet, we go to our collections, I'm sorry. Yeah, and we go back to our collections, we have here teacher resources, and then this is where it ended up going. You can just keep adding on to it. So see, we can go, if we go back to search, teacher resources, and then we put enter, we'll go back to it. I'll find something else, and we'll just do this one for an example. We'll bookmark it, and then we'll put it back in that same one. So now that we have a couple of resources here, we can go back. We'll go to our collection, and then see, we can always click on it, and then we can always share it. And so if you want to share it to your colleagues, you can do the exact same thing we did earlier. We'll share this, and what you can do is actually have your colleagues add on to it. So the cool thing is you can either have them view, which is this one right here. This is just when they view. But if you want colleagues to, hey, this is really cool, they have teacher resources and they can add on to it, you can tell people, hey, if you have any resources, do you mind adding on to it? You'll do this one. You could do, anyone can add, and you can actually have a code. So if I had this code, and then what I can do is copy and paste it to anybody in my team, like on my Google team, whether it's my instructional technology team, or if I want to send it to Debbie or Valentine directly, that code that you just saw right here, all you do is copy and paste it. And you can Teams message it or send it in an email, or even copy a link and send it in an email. So now they'll have access to these resources and they can add on to it. So again, it doesn't have to be necessarily a classroom thing. It could be, it could be just sharing of resources within the department. It is a really good tool. You can add, like I said, these were just examples of URLs, but if you found, YouTube videos, TED Talks that can help anybody within the department, you can go ahead and add it too. And it's just overall like a comprehensive library of just multiple types of media that, everyone can check out. So, I think it's a really good tool for the classroom, but it can also be a really cool tool for you, your department, and all the teachers there at your campus. I think that was it. I don't know if I missed anything on the PowerPoint, Debbie.
I can go back and share it if you'd like, just to.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I also like I use this, and I know Snyder has as well. When we go to a conference, now I use OneNote a lot now, but I have used Wakelet, and you can add all those, like the different resources people are sharing with you at a conference. I mean, you could create a Wakelet for coming to our sessions. You can add, like I shared the file with you, for the slides, the Google slide. You can add stuff like that on there, any kind of links that we ever share with you. So really, it is very versatile.
Yeah.
On what you can do with it. I mean, the resources are pretty much like unlimited.
I think that one was a different one, Debbie.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's the one I'm working on for next week.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm like, wait, we deleted all that stuff.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think we went over, just the basics. Yeah, those were our codes. Yeah, and then the cool thing is you're able to see it, and we went over the classroom. If anybody, wants when you're sharing resources with each other, it'll go into that shared with me kind of tab. And so there's a couple of them that I have here. So I'll go back into the screen. Debbie did provide some awesome resources there for everybody. The cool thing is once you are, oh, I switched accounts, but if I go back to my school and I have a few that are shared with me from other teachers, they'll all end up here. So it is a really cool, it is a really cool tool. Share it with your colleagues. They'll share with you a code, and then once you accept it, they'll all show up here in this library. But I keep switching between accounts, my personal one and the school one, so it's not showing up. But yeah, it's a great resource, and like Debbie said, there at certain conventions, they'll create a Wakelet for you, and then you can join it, and then you have all the resources that those ed tech teachers have. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions as far as Wakelet or what it could do or what it could not do, things like that? Or if anybody has any,
Brittany shared some ideas of using it as for weekly newsletters or student portfolios or for their favorite work. I mean, there's a lot of different projects that, and Sinida just shared like everything you can do with Wakelet. Awesome. I like that document.
yeah, it is. I mean, it is just a great, a great library of resources. You can essentially just upload almost just about anything and make it as a shareable resource to whether it's the students or whether it's the teachers. Anybody else have any questions on Wakelet? I know it was kind of a brief overview, but I mean the real cool thing is like I said, my advice would be download the extension and kind of get in there and kind of mess with it yourself. You'll find stuff that you find is really interesting, whether it's resources for you or the students, really quickly, and then you can start compiling your own collection.
Awesome job.
Sorry, what was that, Debbie?
I said awesome job.
Yeah. Great job, Marco.
Cool. I appreciate it, guys. I guess that'll be it, but do you guys are we gonna do?
Yes, we have door prizes.
Yeah, door prizes. Wow, my computer just went totally blank on me. Do you want me to get the claw ready?
Sure, if you have it, that would be awesome. And I'm ready. We have 6 people today because we don't count for door prizes.
Cool. Alrighty, I'm almost ready to share. Let me know when you're ready, Debbie.
I'm ready. We have 6 people.
Okay, numbers. We're gonna do. Man, and it was crazy, guys. Like, I had Wakelet done. I had done a Wakelet a long time ago. And when I was getting ready for today, I noticed that it was completely different. And then Sinida had told us that they made changes to Wakelet at the very end of September, which was not that long ago. And so I was like, oh my goodness. So it was a little stressful for a little while. Okay, so we have 6. Let me get that ready. Start number for, okay, I'm gonna share my screen now. So we're gonna do, there we go. Oh no, I already did it automatically. Who's number 5, Debbie?
Number 5 is Santos Cantu. Congratulations. Are you still here, Santos?
Santos, are you here?
She is. Yay.
Awesome.
Sure I am.
Congrats.
We're gonna do one more, Debbie?
Yes, one more for our technology prize pack.
All righty. Number 3. Who's number 3, Debbie?
Number 3 is Gabriela Ortega. Gabriela,
Awesome.
are you still here with us? I see her typing. Yay. Okay. Congratulations, ladies.
Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you all very much. Let me